Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Living Beyond Limits. I am Reverend Jennifer Spear. We are a part of Centers for Spiritual Living. I'm so glad you've come this morning to spend your morning with us. And for those of you who are joining us online, welcome to our Sunday service. And so let's start the service by reading our mission statement that's on the front of your bulletin. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. So that's what we're up to at Living Beyond Limits here, is we are giving ourselves the opportunity to feel and sense and remember that, yes, indeed, that living spirit, that one presence, that one power lives within us. That not just is that presence everywhere around us that we can see in nature, but that presence is also innate to our beingness, and that our spirit and who we are at our essence is really an outpicturing of that one presence. That means then that we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, that what is true of spirit is already true of us, that love is innate to our beingness, that peace is always within us, that wholeness is what we have been created out of, and it is what we are here expressing as, that beauty is already here, magnificence is already here, creativity and infinite potentiality, all that is true about spirit is already true about us, sometimes still in germ, but still in us, ready and able to come forward into our experience. But what happens is, as we awaken to the fact that that is true about us every moment of our lives, then when we're out in the world and we feel like we are victim to circumstances that are happening, it puts us in a place of choice and a place of power, because we can tap into our own inner guidance and wisdom and intuition. We can tap into the peace that is not of this world, regardless of what's happening out there. We can sink into our own peace. We can call forward love in situations that are not being loving. And as we do that, we transform our own experience of life, but we also act as transformation in those relationships, in those conversations. And because everything is connected to everything else, it actually affects the whole. So it's like ripples on the pond, our consciousness and our choices out into the world. And so I say thank you to each and every one of you for answering the call of your own spirit to be walking this path, to be bringing your light and your goodness into this world in a way that is beneficial to the whole. Thank you for that. Well, it certainly seems like I hear a lot of conversations recently of people saying that the world and this country is going to hell in a handbasket. And I know when I read the news, things certainly feel distressing and disconcerting and dark. It's really easy to get scared these days, scared that things aren't going to work out, scared that we're not going to make it through these times intact, scared that things might just continue to get worse and worse. But you know what? Have you ever seen a magician do a magic trick? And you know, what you see at the surface is not all that is going on behind the scenes. The magician doesn't let you see what's going on behind the scenes. It seems invisible. So the truth is, really, there is more going on than that picture, and there is more going on than this picture also. Here's a story for you. One of my favorite characters in literature is Sherlock Holmes. His conclusions are based on extremely well-developed sense of perception. Consider this example. Holmes and Dr. Watson decide to go on a camping trip. After dinner and a bottle of wine, they go down for bed for the night to go to sleep. A while later, Holmes wakes up and notices something remarkable. He nudges his tent mate and inquires, "Watson, tell me what you see." A sleepy Watson mumbles, "I see 1,000,000 stars." Holmes asks, "And what does that tell you?" Watson rubs his eyes about what Holmes is asking. After a minute, he replies, "Astronomically, it tells me that there are millions of galaxies and potentially billions of planets. Theologically, I can see that God is all-powerful and that we are small and insignificant. Meteorologically, I suspect we will have a beautiful day tomorrow. What does it tell you, Holmes?" Holmes responds, "It tells me that someone has stolen our tent." You know, the way we perceive reality is entirely determined by our perspective, right? So as we live through these times that we're living through right now, we want to move through these times with faith and with trust and with hope. We want to trust that we will indeed make it through these times intact. We want to have faith that this too is leading to good. Somehow, some way, this too is leading to good. We want to hope that things are going to go better and that things are actually going to be better in the long run. We hold in our hopes and in our dreams and in our prayers and in our spiritual practice, we hold a world of peace and of love and of unity. We hold in those prayers and in our hopes and our dreams a world of justice and equality and brotherhood. That's the world we want to live in. I believe that that desire to live in that world comes out of our own spiritual beingness. It comes out of our divine nature, the desire to live in that world. And what I know is that our divine nature is that microcosm of the macrocosm. So what I know about the Spirit, that infinite one, is its desire is to express. And that Spirit expresses as love and peace and wholeness and goodness, as wisdom, as beauty. That's how the Spirit expresses. We want to trust that that presence of the infinite one is in the midst of whatever is going on. Even when we can't see it, we want to trust that. Ernest Holmes, the founder of this philosophy, said, "In all, over all, through all the power there is, all the presence there is, all the love there is, all the peace there is, all the good there is, the only God there is omnipresent. Consequently, the infinite is in and through humans and is in and through everything." What that says to me then is that God, the living Spirit, the infinite presence, whatever you want to call that, is in the light, and it is also in the darkness and in the destruction and in the falling apart. That presence is still present in the midst of that also. It's so easy to see Spirit expressing itself in nature as this creative force. It's so easy to see the love of Spirit expressing in friendships, in intimate relationships where people care about each other. It's so easy to feel the peace of Spirit when we're in nature, when we're quiet, maybe when you're listening to really good music. So easy to see the beauty of Spirit in a rose or in a sunset, or that life presence in a new seedling, or that infinite potentiality in a brand new baby. And so last week I mentioned that Spirit is not just in the light, but is in the darkness and the destruction. I also mentioned to you the Hindu god Shiva. Those were actually the inspiration for my talk this week. It was like at the very end of a talk, and it's like, I need to write a whole talk about that. And so I mentioned the Hindu god Shiva. He destroys the old to make room for the new, so that in turn transformation can happen. Destruction is part of the evolution. And so when we look at Hindu gods, they're not really separate gods. They're just depictions of different aspects of that one presence and power that is above all and in all and through all. Cynthia O'Selly, who is a wisdom teacher and lawyer, said, "For a seed to achieve its greatest expression, it must come completely undone. The shell cracks, its insides come out, and everything changes. To someone who doesn't understand growth, it would look like complete destruction." Do you have goosebumps? I do. What if that's where we are right now? Can you see the possibility that that intelligence of spirit is active right now in the structures breaking down? Can you hold that there's a possibility that that's happening? Can you see that there's a possibility that that presence is active so that those structures can break down, so that something better can return in their place? Can you hold in your consciousness, in your thinking, that there is a presence that is active in the midst of the chaos, acting through the chaos, even when you can't see the something better that unfolds? Even though you can't see the positive results yet? Karen Salmonson says, "We have likened darkness to evil forces. We have been generally taught to fear instead of embrace the darkness. The darkness is the fertile space of creation, creativity and the womb. The darkness gives birth to the light. What if we partnered with the dark instead of fearing, controlling, or labeling it? What if we held the unknown with wonderment instead of fear? What if we used everything that's happening in the world right now as an invitation to be part of the change we want to see in the world? What if we used it as an invitation to continue to tell the truth with a capital T? What if we used it as an invitation to continue to live as an example of what it looks like for someone to live a life in alignment with their spiritual values? The values of love and unity and compassion. The spiritual values of kindness and integrity. What if we used it as an invitation to live in alignment with the values of honesty and equality? What if we used it as an invitation to bring our own good forward into this world in a way we might not do it if we were just caught up in our lives and all the things going on in our lives and so focused in here? What if you and I allowed the things to fall apart so that in turn we can be part of the rebuilding? Here's a story for you. It was late November The trees had been covered with lovely leaves just a few weeks earlier, were now stark, skinny sticks trying to ride out the winter to come. The sun had become scarce as the dark nights lengthened, but today it was totally gone. Gray, gloomy clouds covered the sky. A cold wind blew, and a chilly rain was falling steadily. I was driving slowly behind a tractor trailer that was throwing up huge waves of water on my windshield. In addition to this storm, it seemed like my life was having a lot of bad weather lately. My clothes dryer had died the day before, and ordering a new one had taken a nasty bite out of my savings. It was only the latest in a long line of things tearing up, wearing out, and needing to be replaced during the last 2 years. I always had just enough to keep going, but not much more than that. As I drove along, I wasn't crying or pouting or worrying. Instead, I was singing along to one of my favorite songs on the radio. I was smiling into the grayness and thanking God for my family, my life, and the blessings in it. I was using this latest problem to remind myself that my real riches weren't in my bank account, but in my heart and soul. I was finally living the lesson that had taken me most of my life to learn. It doesn't matter what life gives you. What matters is what you give to life. Life gives us all good weather and bad. Life gives us sunshine and rain. Life gives us all the joy and pain. It is up to us, though, to soak up the sun and let the rain wash away our tears. It is up to us to use this life to let our love grow deeper, our hearts grow kinder, and our souls grow stronger. It is up to us to share our love, to give our kindness, and to shine our light on fair days and foul. May you always do so. May you always help God to make earth more like heaven. So the title of my message today is In the Midst. And I'm talking about that living spirit is in the midst of the light, and it is also in the midst of the darkness and the destruction and the falling apart. There is an intelligence that is acting through all of it. When we trust that it is moving through all of it, through every situation and through us, then we are empowered to move forward. We are empowered to be part of the change. We are empowered to bring the good into this world, knowing that it's an invitation. And so our mandate at this point in time is to stay grounded and to hold that vision. To hold the vision of what we want for this country. Our mandate is to know that there is a power for good that is present, that is active in every moment and in every situation. Especially when we can't see it. That is what we do as metaphysicians. That is what Dietra's entire reading was about. We hold and know that wholeness is in the midst of an illness. We know that abundance is the truth in the midst of a bank account that doesn't have money in it. We know that good is present in the people we can't see it in. We know that there is an intelligence that is acting all of the time. We see beyond the material realm, beyond the surface, that the magician is showing us part of the picture. Our job is to hold the truth in the midst of it. So our mandate is to remember that your prayers and your meditations and your consciousness create an opening in the collective consciousness of humanity for something different to manifest, for something higher to unfold itself. And then that gets magnified in the world of form. Our mandate is to know that our faith opens a way. And so last week we did several practices when we were in the park of ways to release and to let go, and ways to clear unwanted energy and to ground ourselves. And so somebody asked me last week if I would do one of those practices with you each week so that we can have the experience of it, but also so we can embody what it is that we're doing so we can do it in between being here. And so I'm going to invite you right now to do one of those exercises with me. And so where we begin is I invite you to visualize that there are roots extending from your feet and your tailbone deep into the earth. And from those roots, there's a third root that extends deep into the very center of the earth, the heart of the mother. The roots move up through your feet and through your legs, directly into your tailbone. And with each breath you take, breathe in the earth's energy through those roots. Up into your tailbone with each breath. And now release any unwanted energy that no longer serves you, back down into the earth through the bottoms of your feet, through those same roots. Breathing up in the energy and breathing out through those roots, any unwanted thoughts, feelings, energy. And as you breathe out that unwanted energy down through those roots, as it comes off the ends of those roots, it turns into sparkling white light. Maybe scan your body and see if there's any left over in any corners, any crevices. Sweep it out, scoop it out, gather it up. Down and out those roots, turning into sparkling white light. Breathe up the earth's energy through those roots into your pelvic bowl, so that that light begins to fill you. And again, releasing unwanted energy back down into the earth through the bottoms of your feet. And so I invite you to bring your attention back to this room to release the meditation. Being fully here, fully present. Barbara Holmes, in the book Race and the Cosmos, says, the phrase, "the world was dark and void," from Genesis 2, is not an indictment. It is an indication of the state of the universe in the beginning. It is the womb out of which we are born, a Genesis space of let there be. There is a mothering darkness that nurses its offspring. I'm describing a darkness that strengthens us, encourages us to push deep roots into the dark earth, where we can grow toward the light, fed by the darkness. And so my invitation to you during these times is to deepen your spiritual roots. You have to. It's not really an option. Use this time to consciously deepen your spiritual roots, to stay grounded in the capital T truth, that spirit, the fullness of spirit, is ever present, everywhere, all of the time. To let these times motivate you to live from love, to recognize the oneness of this human family, use it to be a conduit for good, and the invitation to hold a vision, a high vision for this world, for this country. And so I'm going to close with a story. Several years ago, I was presented a life mastery training. I think he was presenting. Several years ago, I was presenting a life mastery training at a resort in Fiji. The hotel management assigned our group to a meeting room at the top of a high hill, which required us to arrange transport for the entire group for several gatherings each day. Not an attractive setup. The first evening there, we discovered that the room was cramped, had poor acoustics, and would be hot during the daytime. The space was far from ideal, and we did not look forward to pushing through the entire week. The next morning, the resort manager informed us that the bus had broken down on the road to the meeting room, which rendered it impassable. To accommodate us, he instructed the hotel staff to erect an open-sided tent a few steps from the beach. The moment the group arrived, everyone breathed a sigh of relief and cheered. Ah, this is really it. Our classes were blessed with an unobstructed ocean view and soft breezes under swaying palm trees, accompanied by the rhythmic sound of gentle waves and the song of birds. A perfect heavenly setting. The group marveled at the orchestration of the bus breaking down on the first morning of the week. It was obvious that the universe had a better option for us than the resort had offered, and our ideal situation found us. Another one bites the light. Some would call this a miracle of synchronicity, and it was. I would further say that it was a demonstration of intention. The group and I held a strong vision and intention to enjoy a seminar in the most pleasant surroundings, and the benevolent universe lent us a hand. The same benevolence will carry you into your greater good. If something appears to go wrong, hold some space for possibility. That something bigger might be going right. You might be amazed at where the hand of love will carry you, or carry us all. Love wins. And so, remember that this part of your path is part of your path. Where you are right now is part of your spiritual path. And that means it is intended for awakening and for growth and for giving way to the greater yet to be. That's how life works. So use it for good. And as a result, you will be acting as a catalyst for the world that you want to live in. And so blessings to each and every single one of you as we walk this path and sometimes forget and then remember and forget and remember, and blessings to you as you bring your light into this world. Thank you for that. And so I invite you to join me in an affirmative prayer as we turn our attention to the capital T truth, that presence of the Infinite One, God, Spirit, the living presence, Buddha mind, Allah, Brahma, whatever you choose to call that one, it is right here in this moment, fully present. All that it is, the infinite nature of this one, right now is expressing itself as everything in everything everywhere. Everywhere we see it and everywhere we do not see it, it is still present in that moment. And it is a presence of love. It is a presence of oneness. It is a presence of life. Its essence is love and goodness and peace and abundance and wholeness. And it is that presence of good right now that is moving humanity, that is revealing itself in every single heart and in every single mind, for there is nowhere where God is not. And so I know right now then that love and that wholeness and that wisdom and intelligence is in every single person. And that right now, whatever has been seeming to look unlike that presence dissipates in the light. And so we hold that light as being present. And in our doing so, we create a greater opening for it to express in our hearts, in our minds, in our lives. And again, because we are all part of the one, it creates an opening in that one. And so I speak this word specifically right now for every single world leader, every politician, every decision maker, every leader, knowing that that same presence is right now within them. And that it is expressing itself profoundly, magnificently, as a force for good. It is leading and guiding and directing humanity right now so that something greater might unfold. And I know that that something greater is making its way and is in process of unfolding right now. And so we let go of what doesn't serve us. We let go of our grasp and holding on to what is wrong, and we create an opening for what is right, and we live that life. And so I know that this is the truth for every person on this planet, everywhere, that infinite one indwelling them, filling their lives, their homes, their places of business, their relationships. A force for good. And so I release this prayer into that infinite law that says yes to our beliefs, yes to our convictions, yes to that which we hold in consciousness. And so we say yes to that good. And so I release this prayer in gratitude, and I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is. So I do have a couple of invitations for you. One is Pat, Scott, and Mike Winter are doing an outreach for Christmas for people that are experiencing homelessness. They are creating stockings. If you would like to participate in purchasing stockings, there is a list on the back table that you can grab and take with you. They want them to be in their hands by October 26th. There are things like playing cards, flashlights, batteries, back scratchers, nail clippers, razors, chapstick, that kind of stuff. So little stuff. There's a list back there if you'd like to play. Next week we will be here. The following 3 weeks, they are using this building for voting, so we will not be here. So I invite you to take this home with you because it has dates on it. You can put them on your calendar. October 19th, which is the week after next, we are having an 80th birthday party. It's going to be at Carol Borwick and Sharon and Bruce's clubhouse that is at Bixby Village. If you need the address, if you haven't been there, we can give you the address. So it's going to be at 10 o'clock on that Sunday. We're going to do a small service, and then we're going to have a birthday party with appetizers and birthday cake and 60s music and play and have a good time.
Mention bring an appetizer, like a finger food to share.
Okay, so if you're coming, bring a finger food appetizer to share. We should probably have people sign up.
Yeah.
We should. Okay. The following Sunday, we thought we were done in the park for the summer. We are done for the summer. We're going to meet one time in the park in the fall and do Sunday service in the park and do a picnic afterwards. And then the first Sunday in November, we are going to be having a set your own price pancake breakfast fundraiser at Chris Braunschweiger and Peggy Toole's house. We're also going to be doing Christmas cards for people that are living in a care facility, seniors that are in a care facility. So we'll be making Christmas cards and signing Christmas cards and doing that kind of stuff. So put those on your calendar. Oh, why don't you come up and talk, Rebecca? Look at that background.
I always have something for you. I know I changed it up a little
like
bit.
it.
Since I reprinted them and needed to reformat, I redid the color on the background as well. So I printed a few more. Feel free to come and get some. These are like not like pass-along cards, but I mean you could hand it out to someone that you care about. Say, here's what I believe in. Come check us out. But you could also post this in your community centers, your yoga studios, wherever you think that you could post this up. That wouldn't violate any rules, right? That you think people might see this and be interested in hearing more about our community here. So if you would like some of these, just come and get some from me. I have 30 of these ones. I have some of the ones from last week that the formatting wasn't great, but I have more. And I can always print more too. They're cheap. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Our Sunday Talks are available on our YouTube channel, and they come out in your email, usually on Tuesday. And we invite you to check in and say that you're coming on Meetup, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and share those posts. Share the talks that get posted with your friends on Facebook. And we have prayer support after service. If you would like prayer, the practitioners are happy to sit with you and pray. We have prayer shawls you can take with you if you want to be wrapped in that energy of prayer. And we have a ministry of prayer box in the back. If you would like to fill out a prayer request, we will support you during the week in prayer. And so I invite you to repeat after me, good fills my life now.
Good fills my life now.
I recognize it.
I recognize
I
it.
savor it.
I savor it.
I love it.
I love it.
And I live it.
And I live
And
it.
so it is.